Simplifying radicals level 2. Let's get into it. So here we got a little extra step. It looks like we're multiplying and dividing here. One thing that's really important to remember about multiplication and division of square roots of radicals is that we can only combine them if we're multiplying and dividing, right? This only works for that, not for addition and subtraction. And it only works when both of them are inside the square root. So I like to think about it as they're just some friends in quarantine, and 2's in quarantine, and 50's in quarantine. Well, they're bored on their own, so why don't they hang out together because they're both in quarantine? But if 2 wasn't in quarantine and 50 was, well, then they can't hang out together because they don't want to get this 2 sick, right? So think about it like that. We can only combine them if they're both inside the square root. So we always want to do that multiplication or division first. So in this case, we got 2 times 50. So they can hang out together. So we combine those and we get the square root of 100, right? They're still in quarantine. And then we can think about, oh, is 100 a perfect square? You betcha it is. It equals 10. All right, looking at the second one, division, same idea. Square root of 50 divided by square root of 2. Okay, they're both in quarantine, so we can combine them. 50 divided by 2 is 25, still inside the square root. Then we see that 25 is a perfect square, and that equals 5. Easy peasy. The ones that get a little trickier, though, is when I go to combine 3 and 15, I'm allowed to multiply them together because they're both in square roots. 3 times 15, well, that's the square root of 45. 45 isn't a perfect square, but that doesn't mean we stop here. We can simplify this further. So let's break up 45 and think about how we can simplify this. Well, when I see 45, I think of 5 times 9. Could you use 3 and 15? For sure. 5 is as simplified as we go. 9 can break up into 3 and 3. Remember, every time we have a pair, the square root's going to cancel, and we're left with the number on the inside, outside the square root. Then my leftovers here, this square root of 5, to give us our final answer. 3 times the square root of 5. All right, same idea with number 4. We're going to divide first, and then we're going to have to simplify. So I divide 60 by 3. Oh my goodness, 20. So we get the square root of 20. Well, no, it's not a perfect square, but we can keep simplifying it. So we break this up into the square root of 5 times 4, and 4 can get split up into 2 and 2. Got a set of pairs, left with the number on the inside, and then left over, square root of 5. And that's how it's done.